I remember the exact second everything came apart. It's strange how those moments stay etched into your mind, refusing to fade no matter how much time passes. It felt like the world slowed down just long enough for me to witness my life splitting into before and after. Like a bullet frozen in the air, poised to tear everything open. It was a Wednesday. I'd taken the afternoon off because of a light cold, not even enough to be bedridden. I just thought it would be sweet to bring my wife, Laura, her favorite sandwich from the tiny deli she adored. She usually worked from home, editing pieces for some high-end lifestyle magazine, so I figured I'd drop by, kiss her forehead, and maybe see the kind of smile she used to give me when surprises still meant something. But when I pulled into the driveway, something felt wrong. The blinds in our bedroom were closed. That might sound insignificant to someone else, but Laura hated shutting out sunlight. She said it made her brain feel stuffy. Seeing them drawn in the middle of the day twisted something sharp inside my stomach. I stepped inside quietly, too quietly. I wasn't even sure why I was being careful. Maybe I already knew. Then I heard it. A man's voice. Deep, sure of himself. And then Laura's laugh. The laugh that used to brighten my entire day. A soft, breathy giggle. Followed by her whispered words. "We really shouldn't be doing this." The sandwich bag slipped from my hand and hit the floor with a dull thud. Turkey and avocados spilled everywhere, looking ridiculous in the middle of such a moment. Something that once symbolized comfort and thoughtfulness now felt like an insult to everything I believed my marriage was. Everything after that felt muted, distant. Like I was watching some version of myself from far away. I climbed the stairs slowly, each step weighed down by disbelief that was quickly turning into certainty. Sweat rolled down my back. My heart thrashed against my ribs like it was trying to escape. I stopped outside the bedroom door. I didn't need to open it, but I did. There they were. Laura tangled in our sheets, scrambling to cover herself. Her face went ghostly pale when she saw me. The man beside her, a tall guy with a beard I'd never seen before, stumbled around gathering his clothes, refusing to look at me. Laura clutched the blanket to her chest like it could protect her from the consequences of what she'd done. "It's not what it looks like, Drew," she said. Those words filled the room like smoke. My voice didn't even sound like mine when I answered. "Not what it looks like?" She started crying immediately. "It was a mistake. A horrible, stupid mistake. Just once. Please, just once." As if the number changed the betrayal. As if once didn't burn just as deeply. I didn't yell. Didn't cry. Didn't argue. I just turned around and walked out because I couldn't breathe in that room another second. I ended up on my brother Chris's couch. Chris is the blunt type, always has been. When I told him what happened, he didn't sugarcoat anything. "You need to leave her. Don't let her talk you in circles. Don't let her twist this." But I didn't argue because it wasn't simple. 8 years together doesn't evaporate because of one awful afternoon. Love doesn't switch off like a light, even when you desperately wish it would. The next morning, I went back home. Laura was in the kitchen waiting, eyes swollen, face blotchy. She'd made coffee, like we were about to have some ordinary discussion. Her hands shook when she pushed the mug toward me. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "It meant nothing. I'll do anything to fix this." I stared at her, trying to figure out who I was even looking at. My wife, or a stranger wearing her face. Even after everything, I found myself saying what she needed to hear. "Okay." I let her believe we could fix things. I let her think I was trying. I played the role of the forgiving husband because I knew she would cling to it. But inside, something else was already forming. For weeks, I wore the mask perfectly. We went to therapy sessions where she cried and apologized over and over. The therapist even praised me for my supposed strength. Laura thought I was healing. She thought we were rebuilding. She had no idea I was preparing to walk away in a way she wouldn't forget. The first step was hiring a lawyer, someone skilled enough to use every piece of evidence to my advantage. Quiet, discreet, methodical. I started gathering everything. I found the guy's name, Todd Patterson. Marketing. Married. Kids. The picture-perfect suburban life. I saved every message I discovered on her phone while she slept. Every call log. Every email. One particular email stuck with me, where she told him she was tired of our dull marriage. That line stayed with me longer than the image of them in bed. Once everything was collected, I wrote her a note. "You were right. It was just one mistake. But it's one you'll feel for the rest of your life." I left it on her pillow. Then I waited. One Friday night, when she said she was going out with a friend, A story I didn't believe for a second. I set everything in motion. I packed only what truly mattered. A few clothes, my laptop, my grandfather's watch. Everything else I left behind. Before walking out, I erased us from the house, took down every picture, removed every trace of our life together. Then I moved our joint savings, the account I'd funded for years, into a private account. My lawyer confirmed it was solid. Her infidelity had shredded the marital trust, and the law, in our case, still cared about that. But the part that satisfied me most came next. I sent everything to Todd's wife. Every screenshot, every chat, every detail. With one simple sentence. You deserve the truth. Then I blocked Laura's number and walked out. When she came home and found the empty walls, the silent rooms, and the note waiting for her, I was already gone. 2 days later, she showed up at Chris's place. Her face was streaked with tears, her voice shaking. How could you do this? You just left, without even trying. I looked her straight in the eye, steady and calm. I did try, Laura. You're the one who stopped trying a long time ago. I just finished the story you started. It was just one mistake, she sobbed. I gave her a small, cold smile. One mistake that cost you everything. She couldn't respond. There was nothing left to say. In the end, I kept the house. Todd lost his job. His company didn't tolerate moral violations, especially ones tied to workplace conduct. Laura eventually moved into a tiny apartment. I heard she tried dating, but things never panned out. In a town our size, people talk. She couldn't outrun the consequences. Starting over wasn't easy for me either. 8 years of shared life doesn't disappear smoothly. But knowing I didn't just let her walk all over my dignity gave me a sense of peace I hadn't felt in months. People love to say revenge doesn't solve anything. For me, it solved everything. Nearly a year later, I ran into her in a grocery store. She looked older, tired, like life had finally caught up with her. She approached slowly. Hi, Drew, she said softly. I nodded. I still think about you, about what I did. I'm sorry. For the first time since the day everything fell apart, I felt nothing. No anger. No pain. Just a quiet stillness. I hope you learned something, I said. Then I turned and walked away, leaving her standing alone in the cereal aisle, clutching a box of Cheerios like it was the last thing keeping her steady. Some mistakes simply can't be undone.